Hi everybody, Marco Carbajo here from businesscreditblogger.com. Today's video we're going to talk about the best business credit cards, how to get business credit cards up to $150,000 in combined credit limits. So if your goal is to maximize your ability to get business credit cards for your business that report only to the business credit agencies, this video is for you. We're going to share with you what the underwriting requirements are. And we're going to go into detail and we're going to give you some sample cases on some of our clients that have raised some substantial amount of credit limits for the business in business credit card funding. So let's get started. Okay, so what are the best business credit cards? Obviously, there's lots of videos and articles out there on different types of the best business credit cards. And it's really important for you to determine what is the best business credit card for you. Are you looking for cashback rewards? Are you looking for travel rewards? What's the best type of business credit card for balance transfers? What's the best type of business credit card? And there's all these different factors. And there's no shortage of credit cards in the marketplace. There's over 500 business credit cards for companies out there, but less than 100 of them report to the business credit reporting agencies. So if you look at this statement here, this is what my opinion of what is exactly the best type of business credit card for you is. It boils down to the credit reporting level, in my opinion. The reason why is if your goal is to truly separate your personal credit from your business credit, because remember, although you can have all these different perks out there on business credit cards, the majority of the cards in the marketplace that are labeled as business credit cards report to your personal credit. So all the debt that you carry or the large balances, the credit, all that impacts your personal credit. So this can be something you have to really consider, because when you're, and this also you have to factor in is if you're going to make a major purchase on the personal side. Let's say you want to apply for a mortgage or an auto loan or a personal loan or a student loan, and let's say your business made a major business purchase that's showing on your personal credit report, that impacts your ability to qualify for personal funding in your personal life. So that's why business separation, that's one of the things to consider when you want to truly separate your personal from your business. It's at the credit reporting level. So again, my opinion is the best business credit cards should only report to the business credit reporting agencies. Now, if you'll see on the bottom here, this is a link to our website. You can look us up, businesscreditbuilders.org/business-lines-of-credit. That'll explain to you our business credit card funding program, which I'm going to go into detail in this presentation as well, how it works, how you can get up to $150,000 in business credit card limits in about 20 to 25 days. So it's a fast program. But most importantly, what we're going to cover here is the underwriting requirements, because lots of people come to us thinking that all you need is a good credit score, or how do I get large credit limits approved for my business? Even if you're a startup, we're going to share with you what that entails. So it's important. First, let's break this down as far as there's only a couple big banks in the entire industry. There's Chase, Capital One, Bank of America, Elan, Citi, Barclays, American Express, which I'm sure you're familiar with. Under these major banks, there's hundreds and hundreds of cards that are issued with different underwriting criteria across all of these cards out there. So for you as a business owner, if your goal is to get the highest credit limit possible, you want to get the best approval, the best rates, the best offers, you have to know what's the underwriting criteria, which bank, which type of card will serve and give me the best results that I'm looking for. What credit scores are they looking for? Also, in the order in which you apply for credit can make an impact. So if you count these big banks, there's also over 100 other bank card issuers alone under Elan, which is the biggest underwriter, but you barely see their name anywhere. Apart from the big banks in the marketplace, there's hundreds of other banks if you count like credit unions and regional banks. Okay, so what is important though is certain banks will auto decline you if they see you that you applied for credit with other banks. So the order and timing in which you apply, which is what we do in our business credit card funding program, is key. And that's why we're so successful in raising such high amounts of credit approvals for business owners in a short period of time. 14 to 20 days is our typical time frame. So Why does business credit reporting cards matter? Why should you care about getting a business credit card that reports to your business credit reports? Well, if you are a corporation or you're a limited liability company and you want to protect yourself, obviously by setting up a separate legal entity, and you get an employer identification number assigned to that business. Okay, so your EIN is used to create a credit file with agencies that are business credit reporting agencies. Dun & Bradstreet, Experian Commercial, Equifax Small Business. So just like there's a personal credit reporting companies like TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian on the consumer side, there's also business credit reporting agencies. So it's important for you as a business owner to establish a business credit file. The way that credit file is going to get established is when you have relationships with vendors, suppliers, or even business credit card issuers that report your payment history and data to a major business credit reporting agencies. When you create a business credit file for your business, when your business wants to apply for credit or funding on its own credit worthiness as opposed to always relying on your personal credit, then that's where they can pull your company's credit report. So that's why it's important. Think about this. Do you think about some of these major companies out there in the marketplace? Do you think the owners are applying for credit for these companies? No, the businesses are the ones that are qualifying for these large lines of credit, the corporate credit cards, etc. Because the business because those businesses have their own credit files. They've built up established credit identities for the business. So if your goal is to move away from always relying on your personal credit to obtain funding for your business, the first step is to get your foot in the door and start getting business credit cards that are reporting strictly to the business credit reporting agencies. So the long-term strategy here is this is going to help you establish a footprint for your business in the business credit reporting world. Okay, so think of your employer identification number as the social security number for your business. Now, why your business credit report matters, I kind of went into that already, is because once you have, let's say we obtain 4 to 5 cards for you for the business that report to Experian Commercial, not your personal credit. That's the beauty of it. None of that activity shows up on your personal credit. Well, now you have the ability to, if you go to apply for a loan or a lease, or an equipment lease, that business or lender can check your business credit report with Experian Commercial, and they'll see that you have, let's say, $70,000 in credit extended to the business in business credit cards, and let's say you've had those for a couple months or even a year or so. This is how they're able to assess the creditworthiness of your business as opposed to just relying on your personal credit. For example, if you apply for an SBA loan, you're required to have a FICO SBSS score of 140 out of 300. That score is calculated using not only your personal credit but also your business credit report information. So if you don't have a business credit report established, then that's going to hurt your FICO SBSS score. Now, which of the best business credit cards matter to you? Now, I'm sure you could see tons of videos out there of these are the best business credit cards for cashback rewards. Here's the best business credit cards for sign-up bonuses, etc. And remember, many times business credit cards are coming out with, banks are coming out with new offers. They're also getting rid of certain cards. So it's an ongoing revolving door of different types of business credit cards. For this video, we're going to cover the 4 main best business credit cards that I believe is the most important for you as a business owner. If your goal is to get the highest credit limits possible, your goal is to build your business credit report, your goal is to protect your personal credit, and you want to get 0% introductory APR offers, that's what we're covering with these particular cards and banks that we work with for this program. All the other cards like cashback rewards, sign-up bonuses, a lot of those report to your personal credit. That's fine if you want those cards. Like if you travel a lot and you want to leverage that your mileage and get points, etc. Then of course it makes sense to have one of the best cards for travel rewards for your business. But there's many other ways you're going to use business credit cards for your business. You're not going to use the business credit card strictly for travel. So that's why it's important to build your diversity of credit for the business. So what we do in our program is we bundle 4 to 5 of the best business credit cards for you with the highest credit limits possible. This helps you build your business credit, protects your personal credit. You'll get 0% intro APR on purchases, 0% balance transfers. What's unique about that is if you're currently using personal credit cards for your business and you're carrying debt that's business expenses on your personal credit cards, once you obtain the business credit cards on this program, you can transfer those balances, the debt on your personal cards, all over to your business credit cards. And what happens is your personal utilization is going to dramatically improve, your personal scores are going to go up, and you're going to move away from having business debts on your personal side to where it should be, which is on your business side. So that's another, and also you'll save an interest. So let's suppose you have $5,000 in credit card debt from some business expenses on a personal credit card. Let's say you're paying 20% interest on it right now. When you transfer it over to a business credit card that has a 0% APR, let's say for 12 months, you now saved on that interest. Yes, there's going to be probably a balance transfer fee of 1 to 3%, but that's minimal. But also think about improving your utilization, your scores, etc., etc. Now these cards only report to the business credit agencies, like I said. And most importantly, this establishes relationships for your business. So if you are a startup, this is going to give you 4 to 5 new banking relationships for your business. If you're an existing business, this will help expand your relationships with that your business has. Now, one unique aspect of having business credit cards with certain banks is you also get exclusive offers from those banks, and these offers are lending products for your business that do not report to your personal credit. So, for example, if you have a card, business credit card, reports only to business credit, you're building history with that bank. They see your activity. They see your purchases. They see how you're paying your credit cards, etc. So they offer you additional funding that's exclusive to you. They don't offer it in the marketplace. Okay, so you can get business term loans, merchant financing, for example. Did you know American Express, when you have business cards through American Express, certain types of American Express business credit cards, they have 5 different business lending products that they offer their business credit card holders. And these particular products do not report to your personal credit. Okay, so you could get there's business term loans that American Express offers. They also offer a merchant financing and working capital loans. So these are fundings products that are, and the beauty of it is it's streamlined. It's a very fast approval process. You don't have to go through all the rigorous paperwork that you go through traditional banks when you don't have a relationship. When you get your foot in the door and you establish a relationship with a major business credit card issuer, which are one of the issuers that we get you through our program, you also open yourself up to more funding that's going to be available for your business, and that does not impact your personal credit. Now, our business credit card funding program, the way it works is we get you about 4 to 5 business credit cards. The limits are going to be combined, and you're looking at 25 to up to 150,000 in combined credit limits. We do that for you over the course of 14 to 20 days. They come with 0% introductory APR on purchases for 6 to 15 months. The annual interest rates are around 9.9 to 19.9%. I always tell business owners and even real estate investors, you literally can never have to pay interest if, of course, if you pay your balance in full off every month, but you also can utilize the balance transfer strategy. That's how you can reset your 0% rates on your balance transfer offers. Okay, so check out our video that we did on 0% balance transfers. We'll actually have the video snippet on the end of this video so you can quickly watch it on how to utilize balance transfer strategies. So that way you never pay interest on your credit card debt. Minimum monthly payments are 1 to 1.5%. This is one of the best tools for you because it's the easiest type of debt to manage. What I mean by that is the amount of debt you carry on a business credit card, you're only paying 1 to 1.5% of your outstanding balance. Where on a loan, you have a fixed payment, you have a set amount of time that you have to pay it off. With a business credit card, it's revolving. You have to watch that interest, but there's a way to avoid that interest, which we talked about in balance transfers. You also have the ability to pull cash out on your business credit cards through cash liquidation. Report only to business credit reporting agencies, like I said. And this is established as a credit file for your business. So if you go to smartbusinessreports.com right now, that's Experian Commercial's credit reporting portal. do a search on your business. See if your business has a business credit file listed with Experian Commercial. That's one of the major business credit reporting agencies. They're heavily used by banks and card issuers and lenders. Now, check to see if your company has a file. It'll let you know how many trades you have reporting. If you don't, your company's not listed, you don't have a business credit report with Experian. If your business credit report is listed, make sure you order it and see what's reporting on there already. If you only have one trade line issued, obviously you need to build up your business credit report. This program will establish 4 to 5 more accounts reporting to your business credit report with agencies such as Experian Commercial. More importantly, this is going to show a much higher credit limit issued to your business because these are revolving business credit cards. This establishes 4 to 5 accounts for you, which will establish a business credit rating for your business. And this happens in a matter of 30 to 40 days. You'll have a business credit file created for your business, a business credit rating established for your business, and of course you have access to working capital, which is your business credit cards. Now, what's unique about business credit cards is there's no type of heavy documentation, no collateral, no income documentation, no financials, no tax returns, no business age requirement. This can be for even if you're a brand new business, you just incorporated yesterday, that's fine. No location requirements, no restriction on how you use the money. Credit does not appear under your personal credit, it only reports to business. And you receive your business credit cards in 14 to 20 days. Now, why do you need to apply for business credit cards? What do you need? You first need a separate legal entity. Number two is your entity must be in good standing with the state. So make sure you check your state's website where you're incorporated. Make sure your account's in good standing. If not, you may have to pay your annual report filing and keep it up to date. If you have a company, let's say, that hasn't paid its annual report filing in 2 years and you want to use it because it's an aged business, contact the state and just make up the past due payments to make your company active again. Employer identification number, you need an EIN, you need your business contact information, and a business bank account. Now, so what are the requirements? Obviously, you want to know, let's get into the credit requirements. How do I get the highest credit limit approvals? How do I get up to $150,000 in credit for my business? Now, we're going to talk about the minimum requirements first. First, you have to have a 680 FICO score on all 3 agencies. You can't have a 680 and then a 650 and a 660. It has to be 680 or more on all 3. Now, of course, there's lots of variations and a lot of different credit tools out there. Some people use Credit Karma. Some people use a different Score Sense, etc. Bottom line, you have to have 680 on all 3 bureaus. A startup or existing business got to be incorporated. Now, if you have filed for bankruptcy, it has to be over 10 years old discharged. 10 years old. Ideally, you don't want any BK reporting on your report. We do accept credit partners, so if you have bad credit, but you have a business partner or you have a family member or spouse who wants to use their good credit on behalf of your business, you can do that. Now, what do underwriters look at? Now, let's get into some of the nitty-gritty as far as what's important, how are you going to qualify for the best business credit cards under this program. Your personal credit scores are the first thing. That's just a benchmark. Don't think because you have a 750 credit score that you're going to get $150,000 in business credit card limits. There's other factors which I'm going to get into detail here. And we're going to share with you some actual client cases so you can get an idea of what it takes to qualify for larger amounts of credit limits. Payment history, they look at how you make your payments. Primary accounts, we're going to get into detail on this in a minute. Your types of credit. Do you have credit cards, active credit cards reporting? Do you have an active installment loan, auto loan, mortgage? Those all play a role. Your active credit cards. What's the size of the current credit limits that you have on your active primary accounts? How old is that account? What's the card issuer? Who issued that what banker issued that card to you? Now, real quick, when it comes to primary accounts, many people use piggyback strategy. They add authorized user accounts to boost their credit scores, to make their credit profile look stronger. It's fine if you want to use that strategy. That's good. When it comes to business credit cards, you want to get the best type of business credit cards. The underwriters look at your primary accounts. When we do a review for you, a free review to give you a projection of business credit card funding that you can get, the underwriters look at that. They look at your primary accounts, not authorized user accounts. Okay, so your primary is account that you opened up. It's in your name, not an authorized user account. That's what's key. Okay, it's fine to use authorized user accounts to boost your score up, but your primaries are going to be what's key. Your credit card utilization on your individual and overall credit cards. This is another factor. And your inquiries and account activity. This is another thing that really surprises many people that come to us, and they have really strong credit scores, great history, but they get declined because they have way too much history. They have way too many inquiries. They've got like 4 or 5 new accounts they just opened in the past 6 months. Just way too much activity. Okay, so if your goal is to get the best type of business credit cards for your business, then you want to make sure that you prepare for that. You want to make sure that you're not out there shopping around for a whole bunch of credit, then hope to get more credit through our program. That's a red flag, because the way the banks look at when you're out there incurring inquiries, they look at that as that you're going to become a higher risk because you're aggressively seeking for credit, especially when you're getting turned down. Okay, so don't do that. Don't shop around. That's the beauty of our program, is we provide you a projection before you decide to move forward, so you know exactly how much credit you're going to get without costing you unwanted inquiries. Age of the business also plays a role. If you're a startup, that's fine. You still can get business credit card funding, but if you have a 5-year-old business or even have a 10-year-old business, that's just another feather in your cap. Banks like to see that because they see history of the business as a benefit. Now, let's break down personal credit scores, and you'll see that if you meet the minimum requirement of 680 and you want to get business credit card funding, you're wanting to get the best credit card limits for the business, remember, you're in the tier 3, and according to Experian, you have a 9% probability of delinquency, and this is what banks look at. So you're I'm not saying high risk, this is just, they look at probability of delinquency is 9% when you're at 680 to 739 scores. So you're what's called tier 3. The tier 2 is 740 to 799. You have 1% probability of delinquency. Obviously, the cream of the crop is the 800 to 850. That's the tier 1. So although you come with the qualifications to meet the business credit card funding requirements, let's say you have a 700 score, just remember you still fall into the tier 3 level as far as scoring goes. But that's obviously not the only factor that's taken in consideration when you're getting unsecured business credit card funding for your business. But this is one of the ways to break it down. The second is your age of credit history. This is huge because we have people come to us who have 740, 750 credit scores, but all that credit scores was established less than 2 years. Okay, so that's very, very new credit. It's not bad credit, it's just really new. There's not a lot of history. There's not a lot of depth. Okay, so that's going to impact your projections. That's going to impact you getting the best business credit card funding. If you're in 2 to 3 years of history on your credit, you have kind of new credit. It's still new credit. Fair is 5 to 6 years. 7 to 8 years is good. Excellent is 9+ years of credit. Okay, so you'll see when you're doing a review on your own credit, and let's say you pulled your credit report, you're getting ready to upload it, and you want us to do a review for you, give you some funding projections, just take into consideration, okay, let me see where my scores fall into. Let me see what types of credit I have. Let me see the age of my credit. These are all things that are going to play a role, but don't look at the amount of credit you get pre-qualified for that we get for you. Look at it as a stepping stone, because you're going to get in the foot in the door with the banks. Okay, now you may fall into the 9+ years of credit, and great for you. So you'll be able to qualify for much higher credit limits. So let's break down another one, is your active credit cards. This is very, very important. If you want to have an idea of how much would you be able to get in the best types of business credit card funding under our program, you have to look at what is your largest credit limit that you currently have where you're the primary account holder, the age of it, and who issued it to you. So for example, let's say you have a $10,000 credit card that's active right now. You've had it for 5 years and it was issued to you by American Express. Okay, so that's your indicator right there, because this is the strongest credit card that you currently have. What can you expect in business credit card funding? Typically, and this is a very general number, but typically you can expect 4 to 5 times that amount in business credit card funding. That's combined credit limits. Okay, so that's kind of the number you want to look at. So if you had $10,000 as your highest, then you may look at a $40,000 to $50,000 projection in business credit card funding. Okay, so we have people come to us and their highest credit limit is $5,000 that they have, and they're expecting $100,000 in business credit cards. That's typically not going to happen, because your personal credit is what's being looked at as you're almost like the let's say you're applying on behalf of your business. You're the co-signer for your business. So being that you're the co-signer for your own business, they look to you. How do you handle your own personal credit? What's the most credit extended to you? How do you manage your credit cards currently? Okay, so now other people ask, well, what if I have a large installment loan or a large mortgage or a great history on my auto loan, etc.? That's all good things. But when it comes to getting the best business credit cards, the banks look at your current personal credit card history, because they're a related product, they're a related financial tool. Okay, so your active credit cards play a big role. And this is your primary non-authorized user accounts. Now, let's talk about credit card utilization. Now that you look at your credit cards that you currently have, that you're the primary account holder of, you look at also your individual credit card utilization and overall credit card utilization. So if you're under 0 to 9%, that's excellent. That's the best number you want to be at, is 0 to 9%. That's ideal. And I'm not talking about one card, I'm talking overall as well. Now, sometimes you could transfer balances to even out your utilization. That's good. What you don't want is, you don't want to be at 75% utilization on one card and 0% on another card. You want to make sure prior to getting pre-qualified, and I always tell people, don't do pay downs yet. Don't move around balances. Let us do a review for you so we can tell you what you need to do. This will save you some time and aggravation on doing guesswork. Our pre-qualification review is free. It doesn't cost you anything. All right, so, but 75% utilization, more than likely you're going to have to do some pay downs. If you have lots of other credit available on other cards, then we may allow you to do some balance transfers to smoothen out your utilization. If you're at 50 to 74% credit card utilization, you may most likely have to do some pay downs. Then 30 to 40%, typically fair. You most likely won't have to do pay downs. 10 to 20%, 29%, nope, you won't have to do any types of pay downs. And like I said, 0 to 9%. So this gives you an idea of where you may fall into when it comes to applying for the best types of business credit cards and to get the best credit card limits. Let's talk about the age of your business. This is another factor. Are you a startup? 1 to 2 years, 2 to 5 years, 5 to 10. Where do you fall into in this tier here? Now, it doesn't make a huge impact, but banks like to see age of your business. They like to see the age on the personal credit. They also like to see age in the business. Why? Because as a startup business, more risky. If you're 1 to 2 years, you're still not out of the dark yet. 2 to 5 years, you're getting there. Okay, 5+ years in business, you're pretty established and you've overcome that hump. You remember that statistics, most businesses fail under 5 years. That's just the reality of it. So if you have a brand new business, don't worry about it. You're a brand new company, that's fine. But it does play a role in the size of the credit limit you're going to qualify for. So let's break down the first sample client. This is not a sample, excuse me. This is one of our actual clients. And what we did is we kind of share with you some of the exact things that we looked at that I just covered, where they played a role and why they qualify for this amount. So this particular client got $60,500 in business credit card limits, and we did this in 20 days for this particular client. It was a total of 4 business credit cards, and the combined credit limits totaled $60,500. So let's talk about factor number 1. This is where the scores of this particular client, 757, 760, and 754. They had auto loan and some credit cards, but no mortgage loan was being reported and no other installment loans. Okay, so these are the only 2 types of credit that this particular applicant had. The highest personal credit card they had was $24,000. There was a Navy Federal card. The account age though was huge, 30 years. This particular client had this card, so that was good. Now only 3 inquiries. 2 were over 1 year old, and 1 was about 2 years old. So you'll see, very small inquiries. They were old inquiries. That's a great time to apply when you haven't applied for credit in a while. Age of the business was only 1 year old. So could this person have qualified for more? Sure. If they had a couple years on the business, if they maybe had a mortgage. These are just some samples, but remember, this is $60,500 unsecured business credit cards for a business that's only a year old. Okay, completely unsecured. And this particular client now is going to have $60,500 in credit card limits reporting to the business credit report. Okay, and this happened in less than 30 days. So that's a great start for a business with a year old that had no business credit history established whatsoever. All right, so one thing to note though, the scores are really high, but this particular client had a 60-day one-time late on a credit card in the past 24 months, and also had one 30-day late on a previous auto loan. So those are 2 negatives on the report. Okay, so that's just so you have an idea of the pluses and the minuses. Now, this particular client got $95,000, almost $100,000 in business credit card limits, and we did this in 25 days. All right, this was 4 business credit cards issued for this client, and that was the total amount of credit issued. Now, the scores were 759. The other scores, I believe, were like 740, 750 something. The account mix with this was the perfect trifecta blend. Mortgage, auto, credit cards. Had all 3. Okay? And it had good history. The highest personal credit card limit was a $17,000 Chase Bank credit card. The account age was 12 years. Good history on there. All right? Only 2 inquiries that were both a year old on this particular account. And the age of the business was 1 year. So this was accomplished for this client. And remember, are you seeing a pattern here? One, she had a credit card for 30 years. This individual had a card for 12 years, but different account blend, good scores. And again, the same thing with the inquiries, only 2 inquiries. The other one only had 3, and they're both old inquiries. So just so you can kind of see a little bit of a pattern here. This particular client got $141,000, almost hit the 150 mark, $141,800 mark, but they did a different type of funding. They did business credit card combo, and I'll explain what that means in a minute. So this particular client, we got $141,800 credit card limits in 27 days. $97,600 of it was in business credit cards. $44,000 of it was in personal credit cards. Why would someone do that? Well, this particular individual already had lots of personal credit cards, already had good credit card limits, but wanted to raise as much credit availability as possible in the shortest period of time. Just wanted to just go ballistic and have available credit as possible. Had a lot of projects coming up. Just wanted to maximize the potential at that time. So in 27 days, let's say 142,000 in unsecured credit limit availability. And a lot of it was, all of it came with the 0% intro APRs. So think about that. And also getting almost 100,000 in unsecured business credit cards. That doesn't show up on the personal credit. That's huge. Okay, so credit scores 815, 817, and 799. Very strong credit scores. Account mix had mortgage, auto, installment, and credit cards. So it had more than the trifecta. Also, the highest personal credit card was $22,000. Had a Chase card, and it was over 13 years old. But also had a $20,500 Bank of America card that was 13 years old. So already had 2 cards here. I also had a couple other cards. But we also got an additional $44,000 on top of that. So imagine this individual has a lot of credit available, only 2 inquiries that were almost both 2 years old. So hasn't applied for any credit in almost 2 years. So you can see that this is the results when you strategically do it in a short time period with our funding program. That's what we do. Is we strategically approach the banks in a specific order, specific timing, and we do it as shortest amount of possible so you get to limit the smallest amount of inquiries possible as well. Because remember, just because we get you 4 to 5 business credit cards in the business's name doesn't mean that you're getting 4 to 5 inquiries per bureau. Each of the banks, and this is how we limit your inquiries, each of the banks, one bank may only pull from 2 bureaus, one bank may only pull from 1 bureau, one bank may pull from 2 bureaus again. So it may look like you have 4 cards, but the result may be you have 2 inquiries on 1 bureau, 2 inquiries on another bureau, and 1 inquiry on the 3rd bureau as a result. This as well. The age of the business is 3 years old. So imagine if this particular client had a 5-year-old business or a 10-year-old business. They easily could have surpassed the 150,000 mark. Okay, so this will give you the 3rd sample client. So I'm sure the sample client, these are actual clients of ours, by the way. But this kind of gives you an idea a little bit. If you look at these 3 scenarios, you kind of have an idea that they have strong credit scores, they have a good account blend. The other thing is the credit limits on their current credit cards that they currently have, and very low inquiries, no recent inquiries, and the account age that they have on their credit cards. Okay, so now remember, if you don't have a credit card that you've had for 10 years or 13 years or 20 years, that's okay. If you have a card for 3 or 4 or 5 years, you can still qualify for business credit card funding. Your limits, you may get 50,000 in business credit cards or 60,000. So that's kind of the difference here. So now, remember, as a recap, the best business credit cards help you separate your personal and business credit and expenses. Helps you maximize your business purchases because you have the highest credit limits. Protects your personal credit. Builds your business credit reports, establishes a credit rating for your business. And you get additional funding offers from the banks once you have that relationship established. So remember, by having multiple banking relationships with these banks, it just positions your business for more funding opportunities. And also you save money on interest. So when you get these business credit cards with 0%, you can utilize the balance transfer strategy. You get 0% on purchases. You can get 0% when you balance transfer and save money on debt that you may have on your personal credit cards. Transfer that over to the business credit cards. And you'll also get a boost on your personal credit because now the debt is hidden from your personal credit, because now only your business credit card debt will show up to the business credit reporting agencies. So an example, if you go through our business credit card funding program, let's say we get you 4 cards, and this is just sample. Typical clients get 50 to 80,000, but let's say you get 80,000. You can get 4 accounts in less than 20 days, reporting your business credit reports. You have access to working capital. You can use your business credit cards anywhere Visa and MasterCard are accepted. And this will create a very strong business credit file for your business. Because remember, imagine, in 60, 90 days, if you want to apply for additional funding, like go through a vendor or get a commercial card at, let's say, Home Depot or a Best Buy card for the business, and they see 80,000 in business credit cards reporting on your commercial report, imagine the approvals you're going to get at that point forward. So this is one of the fastest ways and the best ways to build business credit. And I believe is the best type of business credit cards you can get for your business. So how do you get started? How do you go through our program so we can get you 4 to 5 business credit cards with the highest credit limits possible, 0% intro APR, only reports to business credit? Well, the first thing is, and this is the beauty of our program, is we don't do a hard pull on your credit to pre-qualify you. We want to give you firsthand knowledge of what you can get through our program before you make the commitment to move forward. So you want to order your Tri-Merge credit report. When you order your Tri-Merge credit report yourself, it's not a hard inquiry, okay, at all. This is the personal inquiry, so it doesn't hurt your credit. So we recommend using businessfundingengine.procredit.com. It's only $1 for you to order your Tri-Merge report. They give you like a 9-day trial. It's a great service. I always encourage people to stay in it because they offer all these great benefits. But this will give you the ability to get your Tri-Merge report with all 3 credit scores. That's all 3 reports on one report. Once you do that, log into your report and download it in PDF format. When you download that report in PDF format, now you're ready to start the pre-qualification process. So you go to step 3. You go to businesscreditbuilders.org/pre-qualification. Put in your information in there, you upload your credit reports securely, and you'll get an email notification from us that we've started the review. It'll take us 24 to 48 hours to call you back and go over your credit card limit, your business credit card limit funding projections. If your goal is to get as much credit as possible for the business, then take all these factors into consideration that we just shared with you. Once we do a review, we're going to go over projections with you, next steps for moving forward. If you do want to move forward, we send you out an agreement. You just scan it and email it back to us. It'll take us 14 to 20 days. We assign a processor to you. And in 14 to 20 days, you'll receive your business credit cards. So with that, let's go into our blog, businesscreditblogger.com, if you want some additional information. If you enjoyed this information on getting the best business credit cards, click the like button, click the subscribe button. We'd love to have you be a subscriber with us. And check us out at businesscreditblogger.com. Make it a great day, and we'll talk to you real soon.